Hi, and welcome to the Cross Training Women Weekly Live. I'm Allie, Christian health and fitness coach and the founder of Cross Training Women, where I help women transform their body and health biblically so that they can live fully and abundantly and carry out their God-given purpose. And a big part of that is helping women eat healthier. That's one of the main things that I teach and focus on. I teach women how to properly nourish their body so that they can lose weight effortlessly and to achieve optimal health. And of course, that is extremely important to know, especially because our culture has made nutrition so complicated and confusing and contradictory. But while it's important to clear things up and to know the truth about healthy eating, it's oftentimes not enough to make it easy to stick to. It can be a real struggle to stick to healthy eating. And if you're watching this, I would love for you to comment yes or me or put an emoji in the chats if you have a hard time sticking to healthy eating. You know, for me, maybe you just have a hard time right off the bat to eat healthy and to stick to it. Or maybe you're really good at first, or you go in spurts of really healthy eating, but then you fall off the bandwagon and you just go back to an unhealthy way of eating. So let me know in the comments if you can relate to this or if it sounds like you. Go ahead and put that in the chat. And if so, today I'm going to be sharing with you how to make sticking to healthy eating easy. And really, if you don't do this, you're likely not going to be successful. Okay, so the key to sticking to healthy eating and making it easy is by changing and controlling your environment. If you don't control your environment, it will control you. And most people, when they want to start to eat healthier, they make the mistake of trying to rely on their willpower. But really, it's not about willpower. It's about your environment. Your environment powerfully shapes your decisions and actions more than you would ever really know or realize. Research shows that most of our food decisions have nothing to do with our hunger. It's actually determined by what and who are around us, along with our daily habits and routines. So let me ask you, if you went over to someone's house and you looked in their fridge and their freezer and in their pantry, and you found lots of bags of chips, lots of cookies and candy and soda and Pop-Tarts and frozen pizza, lots of ice cream and bacon and cheese and hamburgers, would you expect that person to be a healthy eater or someone who is trim, healthy, and fit? Probably not. Whereas if you went to someone's house and you looked through their kitchen and you saw none of those things, all you saw were fruit and vegetables and beans and whole grains and potatoes, would you expect that person to be a consistent healthy eater and someone who is lean? You would, because if your kitchen and your environment is clean, you're more likely to be lean. And so if you want to change your eating habits and to stick to them, you have to change your environment, what's around you, and potentially who you surround yourself with, or at least what you do together. Because again, if you don't control your environment, it will control you. And so the easiest way to set yourself up for success and to make sticking to healthy eating easy is by changing your physical environment. And so the first thing I would recommend you do is a kitchen makeover. So a kitchen makeover, you just get rid of all the unhealthy foods from your house, all the junk food, all the processed food, all the high fat, high sugar, lots of oil, or the foods that trigger you to engage in unhealthy eating behaviors. So get rid of all of that, but don't just get rid of it, then replace it with healthy, nutritious foods. If you don't do this, then good luck trying to stick to healthy eating, because as Precision Nutrition's founder said, that I fully agree with, he said, if a food is in your possession or near you, you will eventually eat it. It might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, but eventually it will happen. And so a kitchen makeover 100% helps you stay in control and on track. If you don't have the unhealthy foods in your house, it's really hard to eat or binge on them, right? You would have to physically leave your home and go out to the store and get it, which is really inconvenient to do and likely not going to be worth it to make that trip. So basically the key is to make your unhealthy eating habits really hard and inconvenient to do. And on the flip side, make healthy eating really easy and convenient to do. If you only have nutritious foods in your house and that's your only option, you're going to stick to it. So if you want to be a healthy eater, you have to have a healthy kitchen and environment that supports your goals. You don't want to have to stand in your kitchen hungry and deciding between whether you're going to eat, veggies and hummus for a snack or a bag of chips. You're of course prefer the bag of chips, and you're going to desire that and probably be tempted to eat the chips. But if you don't have chips in your house, you only have veggies and hummus, well, and that's your only option, that's what you're going to eat. So if you are an emotional eater and you know that if something goes wrong or there's a problem that comes up or you're stressed, you run straight to your chocolate stash or to the freezer and grab out some ice cream. Well, it's really hard to do that if you don't have that in your house. So bottom line, if there's a food you don't want to be eating or lots of different foods that you don't want to be eating, get it away from you. Make it really hard to get. Make it so that you have to go out of your way to get it, to the point where it's not even worth it, or maybe you don't even have time to go out and get it. But on the flip side, if there's the foods that you want to be eating, you should be eating, make those really easy to get. Have fresh, healthy, whole foods on hand, and prepared would be even better. If necessary, buy pre-cut fruit and vegetables. I actually use frozen vegetables 90% of the time because it's just that much easier. I don't have to chop it up. I can just microwave it and have it ready to go in minutes. And a little tip, if you just leave fruit and vegetables out on the counter, you will be way more likely to eat it. If you just see it and it's out there and it's ready to go, I guarantee, when you're walking past in your kitchen, you will just start nibbling at it. So go ahead and try that out, test it out for yourself. But put yourselves in a situation that aligns with your goals. And if you have other people, in your household or living with you, well, you're probably going to have to talk to them. You're going to tell them that you need their support, that you can't have these junk foods around, that you need to throw them out in order to be successful. Think about an alcoholic. They cannot have alcohol in their house. And for the most part, vast majority, people are very supportive of that. The temptation for them needs to be eliminated. And the same goes for food and food addicts. If you can't help yourself around certain foods, it needs to go. The temptation needs to be eliminated. And you're not weak for not being able to do that or to stay away. Like I said, relying on willpower is extremely difficult. It's much easier to shape your environment and to get rid of any of the temptations altogether. So please talk to your spouse, your family, your roommates about your desire to eat healthier and what you need to do to stick to it. And hopefully you will have their full support. They don't need to eat the same way as you. They can still eat the junk food, the fast food, all those things, just don't have it in the house. Have them eat it at a friend's house or when they're at work or when they're out and about. But for you and your sake, it can't be in the house, and just explain that to them in a loving way. And like I said, hopefully they give you their full support. If not, well, that's a different problem and conversation. But I promise you, if you do a kitchen makeover, you start to think about and control your environment, including what's around you and potentially who's around you, it will make sticking to healthy eating easy. So let me know if you have any questions in the chat about that. And let me know if you're going to put this into action. If you're going to commit to doing a kitchen makeover, you're going to get rid of all the junk food, because if you're trying to stick to healthy eating, why wouldn't you get rid of it? There's no excuse or reason not to. Why would you want to eat foods that have no nutritional value and it just takes away from your health? If you feel bad throwing it out, then maybe you can give it away or donate it. I personally have a hard time doing that because I'm like, well, now I'm just giving you this unhealthy food, but they might be eating it anyway. So you can give it to them. You can potentially, like I said, donate it, but don't feel bad about tossing it out because, it truly is garbage and that's where it belongs. So I hope you found this video helpful. Thank you so much for joining me. Hey, Linda. Hey, Kathy. Hey, Michelle. But yeah, thanks for joining me today. I hope this video was helpful. I know you will find it really helpful if you actually, like I said, put it into action. You take action on this. You do the kitchen makeover because it works. So I know it's not always what you want to hear, to have to get rid of these unhealthy foods and, to eat, the fruits and the vegetables. That's not what you want to hear always, but I'm not here always to tell you what you want to hear. I tell you what you need to hear to be successful. Like I said, my passion and my mission is to help women like you transform their body and health, and to do so from a biblical, Christ-centered approach so that you can live fully and abundantly, and you can carry out your God-given purpose. And nutrition and healthy eating is key to that. So if you want to learn more about that and how I can help you do that, send me a message. But thanks so much. Oh, we got a question. Why do I get grouchy when I want chocolate and resist? Yeah, I mean, we're going to want the unhealthy foods. That's our temptation. That's our flesh. Chocolate has a lot of calories per pound, so it's going to give you a lot of dopamine. So your brain wants that. It wants that feel-good sensation. So we're going to want those high-calorie, high-fat, high-sugar foods. And if you don't have that around and you start eating the healthy foods, your cravings will change, your palate will change, and it will make the healthy, nutritious foods taste so much better, and you won't even miss those foods. I seriously, I've been doing this for almost 6 years now. I don't miss any of those foods. And for me, I can be in an environment that has these foods because it doesn't tempt me anymore. I know what foods are healthy for my body, what makes me feel good. I know what doesn't, and I know what those other junk foods does to your health, and I don't want to be a part of it. I don't want to, it's just like smoking. I always give that as an example. Smoking is horrible for you. We know that. We know it's associated with lung cancer and other health issues, and so why would I want to put that into my body? I wouldn't. I want to be healthy. I want to be high functioning well into old age, and so that's why I eat what I eat, and I stay away. Celebrate, do an air high five to yourself. I throw away so much candy that my kids get from different occasions. Yep, I would do the same thing. Your hubby doesn't like that I don't keep treats in the house, but I'm the one that grocery shops. Yes, that's another key, is be the grocery shopper. But again, you're making your husband healthy, and you love and care about your husband. So, you're benefiting your hubby and your kids by doing it as well. And they'll thank you later. But thanks again for joining me today. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I will see you guys back here next week, Tuesday. Bye.